Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight. This is going to be a weekend reading. This deck in my hands is the Mantegna Tarot. This is a deck of oracle cards. Let's see what kind of energies we get for this coming weekend and maybe some June weekend. This message is meant for you whenever you see it. We have 3 cards. We have Terpsichore. We have Theology and the Upper Heavens. And then this is the Starseed Oracle. We'll get an oracle card for this reading. What kind of advice or guidance for the reading, for the spread we are about to put on the table. Can we have a card, please? An oracle message to give us guidance for this coming weekend. Well, that's quite a few, but I'll take that top one. Maybe there's one more that wants to come through. This one is I Remember. Lost Lands, and we have 2 more. Okay, fine. Yes, we'll take them. We have Heraeth and the Cosmic Heart. Hopefully these will all make it on screen. Let's see. Might have to push these over a little bit more. Okay, and then this last deck here is a tarot deck. This is the Moon and Stars Tarot. Embracing the summer season in the Northern Hemisphere. Lots of flowers blooming, a lot of animals stirring about. Saw a deer right outside yesterday. It was very nice. Just looking, actually I wish I was outside. The Moon and Stars Tarot. Any other messages to come through? So we can get one more card. There it is, King of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords, education, information. Okay. King of Cups, support, justice, truth. 8 number here. 8 of Wands, speed. Queen of Pentacles, stability. 5 of Swords, revenge. King of Swords, knowledge. And we have Terpsichore, card number 13, Theology, card number 30. Upper Heavens, card number 48. From the Starseed Oracle, we have I Remember. Lost Lands, Heraeth, and the Cosmic Heart. The card Terpsichore, card number 13, is the archetype for nimbleness. Dance with everyone to understand them better. Here we have an indication of a full moon. This is about sort of wiping away your expectations and spending a little time to be open-minded and interact with people in order to get to know them better instead of taking someone else's word as to someone's character. This is about finding out for yourself, and perhaps the King of Swords here, a marker of knowledge, has some insight into the art of acquiring information. That's something you would normally see with the page or the knight. You see here we have on the bottom of the deck was the Page of Swords. So acquiring information about someone to get to know them better instead of resorting to the opinions of others based on their interactions. This is being open-minded and accepting someone else based on your own interactions. Theology is card number 30, and this is an archetype for humility. Trust your higher wisdom, the higher wisdom. Trust your higher wisdom. And so here we have truth with justice. This is finding that truth, trusting your intuition to bring forth information, your higher understanding, your higher knowing, so that you can move forward in your relationships and in your situations. Again, this also points to the King of Swords. Theology, trust your higher wisdom. And we'll probably see an additional message coming from these oracle cards. Trusting higher wisdom. Now, we also have a large sphere here of the planets. This implicates the movements of the stars and of the planets and their influence over our lives, the energies that influence us. Trust higher wisdom. We have cycles that occur in our daily lives, and sometimes we just have to ride those out, and you have the wisdom to tap into and tune into the way those cycles work and how they can influence our days. But not only that, sometimes we have things that seem like negative situations, and at other times positive situations. And of course, as the wheel of fortune spins, we know that if we're on the bottom, it will be on top again, and vice versa. And then the last Mantegna Tarot card here for archetypes, we have Upper Heavens, which is having farsightedness. It is the archetype for farsightedness. It is the ability to foresee the direction in all things. And again, this winged angel holds the sphere of stars. This is having an understanding of the cycles of the planets and the influences that they have over our lives. I'm not an astrologer, and there's a lot I wish I knew more about astrology, but I do know that there are influences, or I trust that and believe in the fact that there are influences from the heavens over our lives. And again, this is sort of having that trust, foresee the direction of all things. We can follow that sort of rule of life, the cycle of the wheel of fortune, that knowing that all things pass. So if there's something you are feeling hesitant about, at some point you will come to a point of feeling confident about it. Or if there's something you're not quite looking forward to, your feelings are going to change at some point in time. Everything is temporary. Our feelings are transient. So let's see, how does this reflect upon our tarot spread here? The King of Cups here says, I know this is an archetype, so you could be embodying this energy. This King of Cups says, I know how I feel, and yet I'm able to skip the drama, avoid the drama, and follow my own intuition based on my feelings. I am secure in who I am and how I can move through this energy. He is a stable king despite the fact that he is associated with water and water signs, with emotion. He's able to keep his emotions in balance. This is to say that the King of Cups offers support in his balance, knowing that where there is or may be any injustice, the truth will come out, justice will prevail, and if you follow these cycles, this would be to say that the wheel of fortune will turn. Something may be working out in your favor, or that eventually it will, if you can keep yourself calm in any situation. This relates to that sense of feeling at home, and I did a reading for the midweek. I did not get a chance to post it. That feeling of being at home may have come up in that reading. I'm not sure if it was the one that did the last video I post. Nonetheless, the point is that you can feel secure wherever you are or in whatever circumstances you're facing. You can feel secure. Yes, you can have feelings about whatever situation you're in. They could be good feelings, they could be not so good feelings, but you have the ability to maintain balance within yourself with your feelings. You don't have to disclose your upsets or your frustrations to everyone. You kind of ride through the energy, knowing that the cycles will pass, that the feeling will pass, the mood will pass. And if you are finding frustration with some kind of cycle, justice will prevail and balance will be restored. Now here we have the Eight of Wands, and this is a card indicating speed and movement. This could be physical movement, moving from one place to another, finding yourself in a new environment, but this is also indicative of fast communication, swift communication. This could be emails, phone calls, text messages, any kind of transference, correspondence, transference of information. And what this can do is help to balance things, help to bring forth justice, and in that we will find more stability. By sharing the information, by communicating, we will be able to find ourselves with more stability because there is more clarity brought forth. Now, before I move into the Five of Swords and the King of Swords, I want to go back here and touch on these Starseed Oracle cards. So let's look at I Remember. I Remember says Soul Plan, a fated life versus the destiny life. There was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of the life you're living right now, when you plotted out the exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses, and it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it is because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life, to trust the path your soul is calling you toward, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. I'm just going to pause right there and go back to this idea of the situation you're finding yourself in. This is part of the plan, and again, if it's a challenging time, maybe there are changes occurring and there are unknowns, and you're feeling a little unsure of the next step or unstable on your feet. Remember that there is a path, and your choices have led up to this point. Your choices. And if you trust in your higher wisdom that you will continue on this path, the one that your soul is calling you toward, and have faith in that and trust your inner wisdom, you will find that any of your fears are unjustified, or that if perchance they are justified, you will be able to move through them quickly as the cycles change. Quick movement forward. So to continue with I remember, you may find yourself at a crossroads at a moment when you're being called to make a decision to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you or choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage and faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater plan. Every hero in his or her life's journey comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around it is through it. It's all a part of the larger plan. The Starseed Inquiry asks, what are you being called to do to surrender to your soul's plan? And now back to the Five of Swords. This particular deck has revenge written here in association with the Five of Swords. But this is also information or opinions coming from outside, coming from others, that it may feel like revenge, it's possible, but it may just feel like a nagging energy. It may feel like someone is trying to undermine your path, because if you are making changes in your life, big changes, and adapting your life and having doubts or feeling a little insecure about the next steps on your path, and you're trying to have faith that you're moving forward in a direction that is new and it's risky, but it's yours, and you're moving in that direction and other people don't really understand it, they may try to incur more doubt by implying things may not work out, or what are you going to do? What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? How are you going to handle this? How are you going to handle that? And it takes a lot of strength to have faith in that path and in the changes that you're making for yourself. You can overcome obstacles. You're alive for a reason. Where you're being faced with these changes, you will have the ability to adapt to the circumstances, right? Sometimes people say things like, these opportunities and obstacles wouldn't be presented to you if you couldn't handle them. So whatever you're facing right now, whether it's a challenge or a bright new beginning that is completely unknown, you may have fears about the next steps forward, but have faith in yourself and your own abilities. Don't let these outside opinions of others interfere with your direction. It's easy to go back to the security of an old life, even if it wasn't fruitful for you. Why are you making changes in the first place? Like, why would you leave one job to go find another? Because there's something about the old job that didn't suit you. Yes, it's possible that business for which you were working, went under, closed its doors, had a merger of some sort, right? But if you're choosing to find a new place to live, place to work, maybe you don't find the old work satisfying anymore. Maybe the pay rate is not for you, and you're looking for something that's going to be more helpful, more pleasing, and higher pay or better benefits for you. That's your choice. Yes, it's new and it's different, but you can do it. Same thing goes if you're looking for, you're looking to relocate. There's a reason you want to leave the old behind. Yes, you could stay there, but you know what to expect of it. And yes, there is security in that. But if you're moving forward, you're opening yourself up to all kinds of new opportunities, to meet new people, to find new types of employment, to find new things to stimulate your person, to stimulate your soul, new experiences, new places to explore. And that is really healthy. And so when people say, oh, but what about all your family or your friends that you're leaving behind? And what about this? And what about, and you have to get rid of all these things because you're moving. Okay. Probably it's something that you've considered, and yet you still weighed out these concepts, these ideas, and you still choose to move forward. Don't let these nitpicking influences of others hold you back from that path forward, even if you're feeling a sense of fear, being a little bit scared, apprehensive about how that new path will unfold before you. The next card is Lost Lands. This says soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. The world is far more ancient than our documented history suggests. As souls, many of us have experienced ancient eras on this planet that were much more advanced than ours today. As we begin to remember these times, the rememberings and gifts come flooding back. At this stage in Earth's timeline, we need the wisdom of the ancients to survive as a species. You're being called to connect with that lost wisdom of your own soul. If you feel guided to make a change in your life, to step into a new career path, birth a creation, or bring an idea to life, but feel unprepared, this card is calling you to consider that you've done this before. Perhaps your soul has wisdom beyond what your lifespan can imagine. Perhaps the intuitive hits and ideas you're receiving are divinely guided. Perhaps you've been preparing for this time. Some think that lost lands exist in the past. Others believe that they exist today in a different dimension. I believe these ancient lands also exist in the souls of those who experience them. If this card comes to you, perhaps the wisdom of lost lands, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Avalon, exist within you. And through surrendering to the intelligence of your soul, you can unlock the seeds of these ancient lands so we can all learn from our mistakes and usher in a new age. Now, again, this points to this notion of trusting in your higher wisdom. That wisdom is like source energy, divine knowledge. You are able to tap into it. We're all able to tap into it. It may take some practice, but it definitely takes calming yourself, centering yourself, and balancing yourself. The next card is Heraeth. This card. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. Heraeth is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate but refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy, or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to, a place they may have experienced more than Earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of Source, a remembering of interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. For others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they truly belong. I'm going to pause here again because this is reiterating that notion that you are looking for new horizons. You are embarking on new horizons, and the old is there still. Those old familiar places, those old familiar faces. Yes, that is a security, but you are taking a chance on yourself to expand your knowledge, to expand your experiences by expanding your horizon, and not to let other people block your path forward, not to let other people stand in your way, not to let people, the naysayers, hold you back. Because you have, as it says, for others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities, and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they truly belong. That is potentially what you're reaching out for, to broaden your horizon, to meet new people, participate in new communities and relationships. Find somewhere that feels more like home to you. If you resonate with this yearning for home, but don't really know where home is yet, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on Earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body on this planet at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now, to fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. Now, we did have the card Jump In the other day. Again, I'm not sure if that's one of the videos that made it out to the public, but Jump In, that is a card of, following your enthusiasm with gusto, going for it. Putting 2 feet completely in. So how can you commit more fully to your life? Finally, the last card here from this Starseed Oracle is the Cosmic Heart. So the King of Swords here, while I look up the Cosmic Heart, the King of Swords shows that you have knowledge. You can trust in that knowledge. It can be very cut and dry. It is not being emotional about these changes, and sometimes we kind of have to tune out the emotions of fear or anxiety when we move forward. If we have knowledge that it is the choice to make, it is the thing to do to move forward, to embrace new experiences. The King of Swords supports that. So if you are feeling doubt, you can try to do more research about where you're going or whatever it is that's new that you're getting yourself into. So the Cosmic Heart says, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. It's beautiful. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within to the intelligence of your own heart. Yes, pursue your heart's desire. Open your heart, follow your heart. To bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, your temple, to make your life one big moving prayer. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that your potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart. This again points to the King of Cups and this notion of trusting in your higher wisdom. Take a moment to reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you're being called to plant your soul seeds and sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. How can you make your life a moving prayer is the Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you make your life a moving prayer? That is a devotion to your own path. Now we have this Visconti Tarot that I am going to pull a couple clarifier cards just on the reading. I like this deck for clarification. Hopefully we'll just get a few cards too. Not too much, not too many. Okay. Oh, I have 5, it looks like. The 9 of Wands. Yeah, that's going to go over here. The 9 of Wands and the 5. This is like feeling trapped, not really knowing. We have the Sun. just put this up here because if I don't have them in order, it's going to throw me off. The Sun. We have the King of Chalices, the King of Cups. Again, you can go over here. We have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. Okay, so the Nine of Wands here. This is that feeling of self-imposed prison, that blockage where we let our own thoughts kind of block us, like all the what ifs. And we need to trust in that divine wisdom. That is how we counter this Nine of Wands. Don't let yourself be held back by your fears. You can take your steps slowly, and as you do so, you'll get more information. It is implied that we'll have more information, and things will move more quickly. We have the Sun. This is the bright new day. This is rebirth. This is birth. This is new energy coming in. It is bright. It is positive. When you move out toward that horizon, when you grasp the Ace of Wands, you will feel the positivity of new things coming into your life, new community, new relationships, etc. Everything you will experience. It is meant to be for your highest good. Here we have the King of Cups again on the King of Cups. This is reiterating this notion that you are capable of containing your emotions. You can follow your heart, but you can stay balanced as you move through the changing conditions of your life. You are being asked to grasp that Ace of Wands, move out with enthusiasm onto that horizon. Take charge of your life to move forward. It will bring stability. We have the Four of Swords here. You know, the Four of Swords is a time of rest. So once you have a shift going and you're moving in that direction, things will move quickly. A lot of communication, a lot of changes. Eventually you will come to a point where you will feel a sense of stability, sort of like you have landed, even if it's a temporary sense of landing, right? Because you may be embarking on a journey, and every place you stop is going to be a point of rest, but the journey will continue taking you to different places. You will get a chance to rest and feel a sense of stability. The Four of Swords is a card of having rest and rejuvenation. It is a card of introspection, and traditionally that protagonist that is resting with the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of rest and rejuvenation. It is a time of reflection and introspection. It will help you move forward. It will also help you differentiate between your own thoughts and your opinions and your knowledge about how you're moving forward, and how that differs from the Five of Swords, which is the impact of the opinions of others. You need to take some time to consider, what are your thoughts and what are the thoughts of others? What thoughts of others are influencing you, and how can you sort of wipe those clean, keep them at bay, and just focus on your own thoughts and opinions about your path in order to move forward. It looks like we have a strong plan ahead. It looks like if we keep the faith on our task of moving forward, our task of desire, following our hearts towards something new and exciting, we will begin to find the sense of stability, as well as the bright energy of the sun, of the new, and it will be good for us. That's the message for the weekend reading. Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight.